I just got one of these Sennheiser PC8 headsets. I'm going to take it out of the box here and give it a try. I'm particularly interested in the microphone quality. Obviously, you can see I've got a microphone in front of me, a Blue Yeti microphone, and I've had a lot of interest in finding a good quality, low-cost headset mic. I'm looking for something that I can take with me when I travel and do some podcast recordings that I can just plug and play, and I don't need this whole little ensemble here. Even if I were to take this off and use the Yeti stand, that's still quite the ensemble. And also something that I could send to my podcast guests, because I run a podcast for home service business owners and contractors. They're not regular podcasters, so sometimes we have issues with the audio. I'd like to just send everybody a nice little headset mic, plug and play, and boom, we get decent quality audio. So I'd seen some reviews out there on the Sennheiser PC8 mic. It was $36, less than $40, we'll say that, $35 to $40 on Amazon. So I ordered it up, and well, here it is. I'm going to take it out of the box and try it. Now, obviously I got the Bluetooth Yeti, so we can compare it to how good that sounds. And, I have to say, I keep calling it the Bluetooth Yeti, but the Blue Yeti, I'm not terribly impressed with the quality. It gets decent, but I have to keep it right near my, right near my face. If I go like this, it kind of gets a little bit quieter. As long as I'm keeping it right near my face, then when I'm podcasting, I'm always playing with it, moving it up and down, doing all kinds of little stuff. I don't know. I find it, I don't want to say too complicated because there's not a lot complicated about it, but I just kind of find it like, a bit much. I don't like having this thing in my face. I've never really liked it, to be honest. So hopefully we'll see how well the Sennheiser mic does. Some of the other audio samples I've heard online sound good. Now we can compare it directly with my Blue Yeti. I guess I'll also plug in this right here. This is a much higher price point headset and mic. It's a Plantronics, what is it? I think it's a Plantronics Focus. So it's a call center headset, and I use this a lot in my business. I actually own a home service company. We do have a small call center with a handful of employees in it. This is what we use. It's awesome. It lasts 12 hours. It sounds pretty good. It fits really good, but because it's wireless and it's Bluetooth, you lose some audio quality. So it sounds a little bit tinny, a little distorted, kind of like muffled, maybe underwater-ish is how some people describe it when you're recording on this. So I definitely would not use this for a podcast. And I've ran across, or heard audio samples and ran across other microphones that we have in my office that are just plug and play, and they sound a little bit better than this. In an office setting, the plug and play gets kind of annoying. All our office staff doesn't like to be tethered. We just kind of walk around the office, and jump from desk to desk, office to office wearing these. So on that note, let me go ahead and take this out of the box and see how it does. Now I'm recording with that Sennheiser PC8 headset that you see on my head here. I have no idea how this is going to sound, so I'm looking forward to hearing the audio sample after recording this. It was real simple setup, no setup, just plug and play. The only thing that got me is the little toggle right there to mute the mic on this, guess kind of inline adjuster was set to mute, so I had to figure out what that was. I'm like, why is this thing not recording? Oh, wow, it's just that. Okay, so we got that out of the way, and then I got it, on my head. One thing I will say is this thing feels incredibly cheap. It feels like, I don't know, it's like comparing plastic forks to true stainless steel forks. Relative to this, I mean, this thing feels like $1 million. It's also about $150, but feels like $1 million. This thing feels like, a penny. It's like literally thin, kind of flimsy plastic. I mean, I just break it like that. I don't know if you guys can still hear me when I have it off there, but anyways, putting this thing on my head, it's not the most comfortable thing in the world. It certainly feels like a sub $40 headset. Maybe even a little cheaper than that, I don't know, but it doesn't feel great, but the sound quality is what's important, and of course, at the price, I want to be able to send something off to my podcast guests. I hope this is it. So hopefully it sounds good. I really don't know what else to say or what else to ramble on about other than maybe the packaging, which nobody cares about. I just basically tore into it and put it on my head. So basically just took a couple seconds, get this thing out of the box, and get it ready to use. Now the cool thing, of course, when I am podcasting and I look away or I do something like this or my mouth isn't right up to the microphone, I should be all right. So that's it here. We'll take this thing off, see what it sounds like, and before we do that, I'm also just going to plug this in so we can get a sample comparison so you understand what this thing sounds like, next to a $150 quality headset, USB headset. So hopefully the one on my head right now, this little PC8, sounds better than this one right here. I think largely, obviously not because of the quality. This is a very quality piece, but with the wired connection, it should sound much better. So on that note, I'm going to disconnect the Sennheiser PC8 and then connect with my Plantronics headset. Here we go. Now I'm recording with the Plantronics Focus 825. It's about $150, maybe a little bit more, headset on Amazon. I use this in my business's call center. And like I said, it's been a great headset. To kind of put into perspective, like when you put this thing on your head, it feels like you're wearing a cheap Dollar Tree headband. When you put this thing on your head, you feel like you're strapping into a fighter jet, cockpit ready to take off. Totally different feel. It sounds good. The audio that comes out of it is much better. The only thing is I think that because this is wireless, it kind of distorts the actual audio file. I'm not an expert on this, but in general, wired headsets do get much higher quality sound than wireless unless you've got other special devices. But for simplicity, rule of thumb, the wireless ones, that distorts the quality. This is good enough. This is very good for a call center. And I will have to say that noise cancellation on this little bad boy right here is amazing. We can have a dozen people in our office yapping away, yelling into their headsets like this, and it doesn't pick up anyone, in the background. Before, with other cheaper headsets, when there's a lot of background noise, you'd get the customers would, kind of get overwhelmed. They'd be like, who's that in the background? What's he saying? Or is there somebody else on the line? You'd get that stuff. Very, very bad look in a call center. But when you're recording podcasts, by and large, and my guests, abide by this, they're in a quiet environment. I'm in a quiet environment in a room or something. So it's not like we're in a call center type of place when we're recording the podcast. So the initial mic pickup, the audio that it picks up is good enough. We don't need the noise canceling features, and I wouldn't expect this thing to cancel noise like this one on my head. But anyhow, that's it. You've heard me on my Blue Yeti mic, my primary podcasting rig. We got the new PC8. I really want to listen to it. I still haven't listened to it yet. Be interesting to see how it sounds. And this is a wired Sennheiser PC8. Just see what this compares to this wireless $150 Plantronics headset that I've got on now. That should be an interesting comparison. So on that note, I hope you guys got out of this what you were looking to. You make the decision for yourself whether you should go with a nice podcasting rig like this, go with a PC8 cheap thing like this, or maybe use this to send off to your podcast guests, as I'm planning to do, or if you want something a little bit nicer that is a headset that might get some audio. Quite frankly, I don't think this would be good enough audio for an actual podcast, but who knows? You be the judge on that. If you have any questions or any comments, drop them in the comments below. Thank you.